Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. And guys, we already talked about the United States and my predictions for them in the 2021 World Junior Championship. So now we got to head north of the border. We got to take a look at Canada and what they have going up there. We're going to be taking a look at that in this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, guys, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. And let's take a look at Team Canada going into the World Junior Championships 2021. All right, guys, so the reigning 2020 World Junior Championship Canada. Team Canada won last year's World Junior Championship, and going into this season, there's a lot of promise as they have 6 players from the 2020 roster coming back for the 2021 World Junior Championships. We're going to be taking a look at some of those guys. But before we get into that, guys, I want to give a quick plug to our Instagram and Twitter handles at goalline_hockey. The links will be in the description down below, as well as playing throughout this video. So with that out of the way, guys, let's take a look at Team Canada. So they have some really talented players, like I mentioned. One of 6 of these players returning to Team Canada for the 2021 World Junior Championships is number 2 overall selection here in the 2020 NHL Draft, drafted by the Los Angeles Kings, Quinton Byfield. Quinton Byfield is coming back to the World Junior Championships and is expected to be one of the leaders for this team. One of those players included a couple of the other guys: Dylan Cousins, Conor McMichael, Dawson Mercer, Bowen Byram, and Jamie Drysdale, all coming back. Plenty of those guys have been first-round picks over the last 2 seasons. A lot of hype around this Team Canada going into the 2021 World Junior Championship. Dylan Cousins last season was tied for 3rd for Team Canada with 9 points, 2 goals, 7 assists in his 7 games last season, and McMichael was 2nd on the team with 5 goals. Canada head coach Andre Tourigny, there were 2 parts of our evaluations: what they did in the first 6 days of camp with us, plus the last 3, and what they did in the past. We needed to have a balance of both, because you can't have an elite player arriving and having a bad week. You need to be careful. Now, obviously, like I mentioned in the other video, from December 25th to January 5th, 2021, we will have this World Junior Championships being held in Rogers Place in Edmonton, Western Canada, Alberta. A very exciting venue there. And they have some experience with this bubble situation, as they were the bubble for the Western Conference Finals, or the Western Conference playoffs, as well as the Stanley Cup Finals overall. So, pretty exciting in that regard. Another thing to keep an eye on, let's take a look. This camp has been unconventional from the outset, with the number of players invited and the length of camp, along with the schedule assignment adjustments due to our 2-week shutdown. Obviously, a lot of excitement, Zoom sessions, all that stuff has been going on. Another key player besides Quinton Byfield to keep an eye on is Kirby Dock, who is one of the only players in this World Junior Championships who has played in the NHL. So Kirby Dock definitely has an edge. He's part of the final roster that includes 14 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 3 goalies. We are based off of Tourigny. We want to try and push the pace as much as we can from our defensive corps. I think they can skate really well, move the puck. All our defensemen are really good defensively. So I like the makeup of our defense corps a lot. Canada will be playing preliminary round games in Group A, starting with Germany on December 26th, followed by Slovakia on the 27th, Switzerland on the 29th, and Finland on December 31st on New Year's Eve. Caden Gooley, defenseman, said this is definitely one of the very special Team Canadas that's ever been assembled here, and these awkward times have kind of made it all possible, so it'll be fun to see what this team can do. Now, 9 of the players that were cut from Team Canada are pretty big players: Maverick Bourque, Graham Clark, Gage Goncalves, Seth Jarvis from the Carolina Hurricanes. I was quite surprised by that. Jamison Rees of the Carolina Hurricanes, defenseman Lucas Cormier, Ryan O'Rourke, Donovan Sebrango, as well as Pittsburgh Penguins former first-round pick Samuel Poulin, who I think had a lot of potential in the last year's playoffs with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He He didn't end up playing with the Pens too much, but the fact that he has now been cut from Team Canada just shows the regression recently from Samuel Poulin. But obviously, this could be used as a motivational factor for Poulin going into his season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Looking at the roster overall, we're going to start with the forwards just like we did with Team USA. You have Quentin Byfield of the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL, drafted second overall by the Los Angeles Kings. Dylan Cousins of the Lethbridge Hurricanes, a top 10 draft pick by the Buffalo Sabres. He's been playing in the WHL, one of the leaders in the WHL last season in points. Kirby Dock of the Saskatoon Blades back in the day with his time in the WHL. He has played with the Chicago Blackhawks last season. Dylan Holloway, a first-round pick here by the Edmonton Oilers, playing with the Wisconsin Badgers. Him, as well as guys like Cole Caulfield, have a lot to prove over there in Wisconsin this season, so expect a big season from him. Peyton Krebs of the Winnipeg Ice in the WHL. He's had a couple of bad injuries that have affected his career so far, so hopefully he gets back on track. He, again, a former first-round pick of the Vegas Golden Knights. Conor Mcmichael had a great season last year, a breakout season in the OHL, one of the leaders in the OHL in points with the London Knights, former Washington Capitals first-round pick. Dawson Mercer, who played with Chicoutimi, QMJHL, New Jersey Devils first-round pick. Alex Newhook, Boston College up in BC, Colorado Avalanche prospect. Jacob Peltier, who played in Val-d'Or with the QMJHL in the Quebec League, Calgary Flames prospect. Cole Perfetti, a top draft pick by the Winnipeg Jets in the OHL. Jack Quinn, who played with the Ottawa 67s in the OHL, a top player alongside another player, Austrian, Marco Rossi. These two players really tore up the OHL last season. He is a Buffalo Sabres top 10 draft pick in 2020. Ryan Suzuki, another very talented player, brother of Nick Suzuki, who was with the Montreal Canadiens, playing with the Saginaw Spirit in the OHL, Carolina Hurricanes draft pick. Philip Tomasino will also be on the roster. Struggled a couple seasons here with the Nashville Predators, but again, former draft pick of the Preds, who played with the Oshawa Generals in the OHL. And to end it off for the forward group, Connor Zary, who played with the Kamloops of the WHL, property of the Calgary Flames. Now moving on to the defense. Defenseman here, we're going to start off with the Quebec player, Justin Barron, playing with the Halifax Mooseheads, Colorado Avalanche draft pick. Bowen Byram, a top 4 draft pick in the day, playing with the Vancouver Giants of the WHL, a top draft pick by Joe Sakic's Colorado Avalanche. Jamie Drysdale, a top 5 draft pick of the Anaheim Ducks, who played in the Erie Otters organization last season in the OHL. Caden Gooley, playing with the Prince Albert Raiders in the WHL, Montreal Canadiens draft pick this season. Thomas Harley of the Mississauga Steelheads in the OHL, Dallas Stars first round pick. Caden Korzak of the Kelowna Rockets, WHL, property of the Vegas Golden Knights. Braden Schneider, Brandon Wheat Kings prospect in the WHL, big boy defenseman out in Western Canada, New York Rangers prospect. Jordan Spence of the Moncton Wildcats in the Quebec League, Los Angeles Kings draft pick. Now moving on in between the pipes, and this could be the difference between the United States and Canada this year. Dylan Garand of the Kamloops, playing in the WHL, he is a New York Rangers draft pick. Do the Rangers need any more goaltenders? Taylor Gauthier of the Prince George in the WHL, 2021 draft eligible, so he has not been drafted yet. And Devin Levi of Northeastern of the Hockey East League over in the collegiate Florida Panthers prospect. Again, do they need another goaltender? They have Spencer Knight, but that's how it goes, right? I like the roster for Team Canada, and I think their forward group is really talented, and their defense is very talented as well. Some big boys. You have guys like Bowen Byram, Thomas Harley, Braden Schneider, Caden Korzak, Caden Gooley. Those are some big defensemen. But then you also have that little bit of flash in your defense. Very offensive-minded guys like Justin Barron, Jamie Drysdale, Jordan Spence, who are a little bit more offensive-minded. I think this is a really solid roster. Thomas Harley as well. And I think the difference here between the U.S. and Canada is the hype around Spencer Knight as the starting goaltender. Will Canada be able to duel with a goaltender like Spencer Knight? I don't know if Dylan Garand or Taylor Gauthier or Devin Levi, are they going to be able to do that? We're going to find out in this year's World Junior Championship. So, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think Canada will win the World Junior Championships here for 2021? Do you think they will continue their reign? Do you think Quentin Byfield and some of these other guys like Kirby Dock, do you think they'll be good leaders for the young guys and get enough done to win the championship? Or do you think a team like Sweden, Finland, or potentially the States will win this year's World Junior Championships? So let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like what we're doing here at Gold Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.